Welcome to Todd Talks, where I help you design your best life. Today, I'm excited. I had my first interview for the podcast, and I'm excited to present to you my interview with Kim Gonsalves. I hope I said that right. Kim, otherwise known as Kimberly, was born and raised in Belgium and grew up in difficult circumstances, pulled herself up by her bootstraps, and starting from hard beginnings, she has worked her way up and loves to help other people. Kim is a full-time business consultant, model, personal fitness coach, model coach, and world traveler. I'm so excited to be able to present this interview that I had where we got to joke and laugh and delve into some pretty deep subjects. Sadly, the recording missed the first minute and a half of the interview, but you'll learn a lot about Kim, a lot about myself, and this is just a wonderful opportunity to learn some tips and tricks and things that will help you in designing your best life. So please, without further ado, take a listen for the next 45 minutes to Kim and I as we discuss a lot of different topics and have some fun while doing it. Don't feel nervous. We're just a couple of friends talking. So
I know. It is always a little bit working on the nerves because, a lot of things come from the heart and not everything is easy to talk about. So for me, it's breathe in, breathe out, and let's go.
Excellent. So I wanted to first ask, how did you get started in your modeling career?
So as a little kid, I always dreamt about acting. And when I was at the age of 8, I decided to get into an acting school, like an academy. Now, my life as a kid has been very difficult. So my mom was alcoholic, was a very young mother. I grew up in childcare with like moving from house to house yearly. During my first year of life until the age of 13. So I didn't really have stability. And acting is something that always I felt I could be somebody else. I could do something different. It wasn't me being there. So that's the only thing that always inspired me of wanting to do. Now, because of moving so much and not having many friends, I got bullied a lot in school. Also, life in childhood, moving so much, it's not easy to deal with. So depression was also one of the things that actually held me back from growing and succeeding, let's say. So for me, at the age of 15, I stopped everything. I stopped school. I went full-time working. Well, 15 going 16, so that's very young. And because I was in childcare, there was not a mother saying, "Don't do that, don't leave school." So for me, the money was more important than anything else I was doing because I wanted to be free. I wanted to be me. I wanted to do something by myself. And I started working, but then at the age of 22, my mother passed away. And yeah, so from the age of 15 until the age of 22, I was always working very hard and actually not doing anything than working in hospitality and drinking, but drinking for fun. I wasn't an alcoholic. And in 2014, my mom passed away at the age of 40. So she was really young. And I got more into a depression and I actually stopped working. I stopped doing everything. I didn't believe I could be someone. I didn't believe in myself. I was down to earth, let's say. So in 2015, I decided to move away and I moved to Ireland. And it got me so many options because when I was doing acting in school, I studied 4 languages as well. So when I moved to Ireland, I had 4 languages to work with. And I got into companies, bigger companies doing sales and telecom and, all these blah, blah jobs that get you actually into very good companies. So I started working my ass off, let's say. And I figured that I actually missed the part. I missed the most important part of your question. So in 2012, I did a photo shoot for my 21st birthday. I wanted to give my invitation cards as a beautiful invite, but like personal, So a photo shoot was the best idea. And the photographer that did the photo shoot for me and started posting me on his social media, I started getting so many requests from photographers around the whole area that knew him. And I at the start I had to prove myself with posing and stuff like that, but because I did the acting, for me this was, I could be somebody else. I could do
Oh,
something
yeah.
I liked, and I could use the powers that I wish I had myself, that kind
Oh,
of way.
we were involved in acting when we lived in California, and totally get it. We it's fun, and
It is
you
so much fun. You don't
you
have to
can
be you.
exactly.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with everything that's going on in your head, because you are not that person. You are somebody else. And this is what helped me with modeling and acting. But
Okay.
so yeah, I got so many requests, and at the start, because I was working full time and I didn't have the time for so many requests, I had to start picking. And I said, okay, if I have to start picking, it's not fair for one over the other one to choose one over the other one. So let's just put a little budget on it. So on top of that, it was nice to have some extra earnings and know that I can save a bit for myself. I don't have to rely just on working for the basics, let's say. And
Okay.
yeah, it was so much fun. And then actually till the death of my mom, and then my whole positivity turned into negativity, into depression. And I dropped everything. Then I moved to Ireland and I got into these companies, and I had a big portfolio on Facebook on a fan page already from modeling in Belgium for only how many years? So 2000, only 3 years. I had a fan page of 5K likes. And
Oh,
with that, moving to Ireland, I could promote myself immediately, which I did. And I started getting jobs here and there from Ireland too, but also with full-time work. And so I was pretty busy with that all the way through. But then in 2016, I got very, very interested in fitness. So I went into fitness on top of the modeling, on top of my full-time job. And I realized that my results were working so well on me that it started impressing other people and started motivating other people for wanting to work out. And I enjoyed that people were looking up to me, and I wasn't that unsocial bully kid anymore. It's a very big change in life, and it makes me happy to see other people happy. So I let people join me while I'm working out, and actually I'm coaching people without being a coach, because I'm just a fitness buddy, but I'm just telling them what to do.
hey, that's awesome. I'm sure you've, and as with what you're saying, you found that when you're helping others, it improves your mood. The depression goes away. It helps you to feel better when you're helping others feel better. It's a good cycle to get into.
Exactly, because that's the first time I felt the happiness inside of me when I see others happy of me motivating them. That's the first time in my life where I felt something like that. So that changed a very big thing in me, because of that I decided that I wanted to start coaching models too, because I had all the expertise and all the experience, or expertise, did I say it right?
Oh, yeah,
um, but I wanted to help others with that too. So I started helping out friends and young 18-year-old girls, and that I see that need to have some kind of hobby and that I see potential in. I want to motivate them and do something. And you can do this. Think out of the box. And I realized that that actually gave me also growth and success, because step by step, and
oh yeah,
everything came after the other thing, and you start blooming when you see other people blooming, I think.
definitely, definitely. So with that, you actually answered the second question: is what led you to be helping other people change their lives.
That's
Um,
one thing. That was one thing, but the main thing is because of the experience in my childhood. um, the the need of getting help, the need of where you're basically crying out for help, but you're not getting any help, and how difficult it is to cry out for help in the first place and to ask for help. And that's why I want to help others, because sometimes I can see that people don't have the power to make that first step, or people don't have the the balls. Let's say it's difficult to say, but I didn't either at one stage, without having any self-respect and self-confidence and only self-doubt. I didn't dare to ask for help, and I'm actually kind of reaching out a hand and giving people a choice to grab it, rather than letting people come to me and ask for help just like that. Well, they can as well, of course, but
Well, like you said, a lot of people that are feeling doubt in themselves, they're not going to reach out to you, but if your hand's outstretched, they may grab it.
exactly.
Well, thank you.
No
Um,
problem.
your biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
My biggest failure has been giving up. Um, I wasn't sure if I wanted to share this, but I'm going to do it because I did it in the last talk show too, and I think it's only fair. Um, Fair on not holding it in and showing that I have the confidence now to talk about it. But I have had a suicide attempt in my life as well, and I was pretty young, so I wasn't experienced with happiness yet, and I wasn't experienced with growing and blooming and traveling and being free. So I thought really that that was going to be the rest of my life, me feeling depression, me losing things, me being played around with, me being bullied, me everything that was going against me had really put me down so much. And if I didn't have my little sister crying at the end of my bed after waking up from coma, then I think I would have never had the the strength for myself, for example, to go for that photo shoot for my birthday card, because I started getting a little bit of fear that afterwards, of course, that thoughts about it, that if I didn't make it, I would have never experienced happiness in my life. And because I didn't give up all the way through all the other horror that happened, or horror bad things that happened, and always kept on going, I knew that I wasn't going to bounce back like that. But when you bounce back because you give up, it is way harder to get out of that hole than it is when you actually realize how far you already came without you knowing. You need to, I didn't know how far I came, but I came a long way when I was there in hospital. I came a long way and just gave up, and I bounced back. So
Bouncing back is so powerful. That is probably the most powerful message I think that you can give somebody. The fact that you almost committed suicide but bounced back and are now helping others, that is so strong, and I love
thank you.
that. Thank you for sharing. I know
No
those kind of
problem.
hard. I'm sorry to hear about what you went through when you were a kid. Nobody should have to go through that, but one thing I do know is that our our struggles can make us stronger or break us, and it all depends on how we choose to react. And when you were at your lowest, you chose to get up and you chose to continue. So that's awesome. That sets up a great example for other girls and guys as well.
I have a little bit example to add on to this. I have a little sister and I have a little brother. So my sister is 6 years younger than myself. My brother is 4 years younger. The time when my mom passed away, we all took it differently.
Mhm.
So myself, I went into depression and I literally dropped everything. And my sister did the same thing. My brother completely lost his mind and ended up for certain things in jail, and that on the age of 20, so pretty young. And when I moved away from Belgium and I picked up my life, I saw that my sister was so impressed with me actually doing all that and having that power, and she started picking up her life herself. And my sister now is doing so well. She's in Belgium, I'm here, but we have such a close contact, and she's doing so well. I'm doing so well, and my brother is still in jail, but he is learning on how to do it differently. He chose that way, but there is two ways, and even if you go the bad way, in his case, he now still have two options. He can get better, or he can do worse. And in this case, I'm happy to analyze he's gonna do better. So,
well, guys do respond different than girls do. I've known a lot of guys that went through similar things like your brother and went down similar paths, because we tend to bottle things up a lot more. Whereas girls will get depressed, guys will bottle it up and then explode.
yeah.
And go crazy, as you put it. So I do hope your brother continues to get better. And that's awesome about your sister.
Yeah.
So I guess that leads us into my next question, which is, what advice would you give to someone that finds himself in a similar situation, finds himself depressed or in a rut, struggling and wanting to change their life? What advice would you give them?
That the mindset is everything. You can cry, you can let out feelings, and sometimes that can be good, sometimes that can be bad and lead you to feeling even more horrible. But it's really what you make of it in your mind, because nothing is easy and nothing will be easy. Life will actually always be difficult, but it has so many beautiful moments because of you wanting, or you creating that. Actually, it is very hard for me to explain, but I learned in life that all my motivation, all my happiness, and all my goals that I'm achieving came from a positive mindset, and from setting goals, and from taking them step by step, realistic goals but also unrealistic goals. Just if you want to have an unrealistic goal, then plan it out and follow step by step. Nothing comes easy, but a positive mindset is key. And it's not always easy to have a positive mindset, but if you really want something, is that not positive? Is that not a positive thing to be positive for?
Oh, absolutely. What resources helped you to develop that mindset and to have helped you along the way?
Experience. Experience. And actually, I've been lucky enough in my life to have had good people along the way. So in childcare, I always had this one good one. In schools, I always had this one good one. Wherever I went on hobbies, or on camps, or I always had crossed people along the way that were helpful. Lucky enough, I know not everyone is that lucky, but in that case, you need to learn out of your own experiences. If you experience something bad and you don't want something like that to happen again, then you learn yourself a different way of not having to experience that again. And I think resources are only experiences by other people anyway. So I think your own experience is the most important one, and you can listen to different experiences, but because everyone has such a different life, not all the experiences are going to work for you, or not all the resources are going to work for you. So
No, I
learn
totally
out of everything
agree.
you do.
I totally agree. We learn best from our own experiences. In fact, I learn best from all the failures that I have. but at the same time, like you said, resources are other people's experiences. That's one reason that we do the things that we do on Instagram and Facebook and the podcast, is to let our experiences hopefully inspire somebody else
They might be in the same
believe that
position.
might be in the same position, to believe that they can change. May
Yeah,
not be the exact same experience, but hopefully not everyone has to go through the really bad experiences or the negative experiences before they decide to change, but they
yeah,
can change when they're motivated to.
yeah. You
Um,
don't even have to be in a bad or in a good situation. If you want something to change in general, change your mindset, and you will find a way. It won't happen like 1, 2, 3, but it comes in time. Just focus on it and plan it out and be
Oh,
positive.
absolutely. As you've been going through your changes, through your exercise, through everything, I'm sure you've heard lots of different myths about what works, what doesn't. What is one common myth about personal growth that you'd like to debunk?
I actually don't know, because I read so many things, and a lot of things I do agree with and are not really myths for me. And I think what is a myth for me might not be a myth for you, and what is a myth for you might not be a myth for me. So I think it's a little bit of, again, experiences, and everyone works differently and everyone thinks differently. So I really can't answer this question.
No, that's fine. That's a good attitude to have, to acknowledge that everyone's different.
Yeah.
So what is one primary thing that people should do to change their lives, to change their experiences?
Again, try and manage the way of their thinking. Um, Everything starts with the mindset. I keep repeating myself, but this is so important. This is where everything starts, and mindset is a very difficult thing to keep in control as well. Sometimes sometimes people think they're out of control, but that's because you let your mind go crazy. If you try and be calm, you want to be calm, watch some yoga, watch some podcasts. I can't even pronounce it. I mean, the mindsets, just if you really want to be getting over something, if you want to be stronger, if you want to be anything or do anything, you can do it, but you need to believe in it, and then you will achieve it.
Thank you. That Well, there you have it. That's it. But
No, it's not that easy, but it
we
starts with
all,
the mindset.
it does. It starts with mindset, and we all do repeat ourselves. We repeat ourselves all the time. When you see it in different ways, but mindset is everything. You
Yes,
hit the nail on the head with that. Um,
yes. At times I get questions from people, how do you get through all this? Wow, like how did all this happen to you and you didn't crash? Well, I changed my mindset. I believed in myself that I could achieve more and that I wanted to be somebody for people and for myself, and just be happy with the little time we've got. And this is what changed my mindset. And it wasn't easy, because I still don't always like my full-time job, and I'm still sometimes too tired to get out of bed. And I mean, but I want to do this, and this is it. Before, I didn't know if I wanted to do things, because I just didn't believe that life could be any like anything different than the hell it was. So, but life is actually beautiful. You can make it beautiful.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And you mentioned in the past you've been depressed, and you just mentioned that life is beautiful and you can see happiness. What makes you happy?
um Achieving so many things, and not only for myself, but also because it seems really to motivate others. I've seen so many people actually pick themselves up after questioning me, or always following. I've been having people that compliment me for it, like, thank you so much, because I know I haven't been active online, but I've been watching your videos and doing your stuff, and you motivate me to work out. And that makes me happy. The fact that um, although the difficult times were constantly going through, even if it's personal life or if it's life like the pandemic life, the lockdown life, you know, uh, there is always a lot of negative things, but these are the positive things, because they make you happy, healthy, they make others happy and healthy. And this is happiness. This is happiness.
And that's why I do dance workouts.
Yeah.
Anne was laughing at me today. She's like, "Why are you stiff?" I'm like, "Because my back is just like a board, but I enjoy dancing, so that's why I do a dance workout."
That's it. If you enjoy it, you got to do it. Don't hold
Exactly.
yourself back.
Oh, So what do you consider your biggest strength?
Mm, my dedication. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna change that. Stubbornness.
Stubbornness.
That is
Okay.
actually many people see it as a bad thing, but I really love it because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be as dedicated and always competitive. And I think I would reach less if I didn't have this stubbornness.
Hey, I totally get it. I married a redhead. Um, that stubbornness is a key quality.
You said it in a way like an Irish would. It was so funny.
Well, it does have Irish roots. So,
Yeah, I forgot that. You said
well,
it's so
yeah,
Irish.
we love Ireland. We would move there. We may move there in the future when I get out of the military. We've
It's
talked
too
about.
rainy here. Too rainy. You won't last. Like I'm here 6 years, and the rain is just not good.
Well, uh, talking about my wife, she is stubborn, but like you, that I look at that as a strength. It's
It is a
been great
strength,
for us.
definitely. Stubborn women are mostly also very powerful in many good ways.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
leaders, as in powerful. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so flipping it now. What would be your weakness?
Um, my weakness would be emotions, feelings. I needed some more time than I thought to learn how to manage feelings. And you can manage well, you can work on mindset, but feelings is a different thing. So if you are already struggling with mindset and you're struggling with feelings, there is a longer road. But I realized that that's why my road was a bit longer as well. Feelings is definitely a weakness.
Okay, okay. And what do you fear? We all have them. I didn't think I used to have any fears. Um, Having to go to the cardiologist a couple of years back when my heart rate would not slow down, uh, let me know that yes, I actually did have some fears. Everything
Yes.
was fine. It was the results of a combination of flu, energy drink, and a Muay Thai workout.
Okay.
Um, that my body did not like.
Well, no,
But
you should not work out when you have a flu. You should really rest. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I know that.
well, I can be stubborn too sometimes, and I wanted to. Um, so yeah, that put me in the hospital, and
Did
but
she learn a lesson?
I did learn a lesson, and I've not had
Good
an
man.
think. I have not had a monster since then, but
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 you still work out while you're sick. That's not a good one. You should learn out of
well,
that one.
no, I don't work sick anymore.
Good, good.
No, no. Um, but so yes, I found out that with my big, I not want to say personality. My wife used to say narcissistic personality. Uh, Used to not believe that I had any fears except doing a backflip. Yeah, the only thing I was afraid of was doing backflips.
Yeah,
Um,
I
I,
would be too, actually.
I have more fears than that. So, what would be your fear now that I've talked about me? There's that narcissism kicking in.
Hmm. You're not a narcissist, but I get the joke. Your woman is a powerful leader, I told you.
Awesome. We've been married going on 25 years. So,
Oh wow. See, she's powerful. She got you on the leash. um Back to the fears. Let me see. Let me think, because I think I always have fears easily, but I'm very stubborn, as I said, and most of the time when I got some fears, I do want to do it, because I want to prove myself again, and that's that competitive side of myself as well. But I think my biggest fear would be failure. Failure.
okay.
And that has always been like that. I kind of grew up with it. So it's something I'm working on, and something I've been working on for many years, because I realized that it was something to work on, but it's still there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you must, if you've ever heard of Enneagrams, you're probably an Enneagram 3 then.
I actually haven't heard of it.
Oh, Enneagrams are great, but Enneagram 3s, that's what I am, are very competitive, and our biggest fear is failure.
Okay. Okay.
We're very, we like to succeed and all are always striving to succeed.
Yeah. So actually, my PT exam, the personal training certificate,
Okay.
I had to pass it. Well, I had to repeat it. So I did the exam and I read the answers too quickly, the questions too quickly. So I mixed them up, and by the time I click yes, I'm like, oh no, it's this one. And so I actually knew whenever I was wrong just by being so fast, and I was so angry at myself. I said, let's do it now. So because I was so stubborn, I wanted to go first fast again. Then I said, no, let's not do this. Let's read the question properly. So I did it all over again. But that's another example of it.
Now, you think, I'm kind of changing up the next question, but do you think that people are afraid of failure and that's why they don't start to try to improve themselves?
It might be more actually self-doubt. Self-doubt is actually the biggest problem with people not starting. Just, I'm not good enough. Oh, I can't do this. This is too hard. This, just because they think they're not good enough. And I mean, I think that's also why why I didn't look out of the box before, because I had all that self-doubt. And I think that's what I see also in the girls I'm training. At the start, when I was showing some exercises, oh no, I can't do this. Well, you should see them now, they're flying it. So yeah, I think self-doubt.
So what do you tell girls that are exhibiting self-doubt or fear of failure? What do you tell them, and what is your guidance to them?
Don't be such a weak ass. No, that's when I know that they're appreciated, or that they will laugh with the joke. But I don't know. I like to just put in my personality and just tell them, look at me. Do you think I've always been able to lift this, or do you? I don't know. I really don't know what to say. Just believe in yourself. I mean, I came from nowhere. I came from almost nothing, bottom bottom of the ladder, and I'm not even at the top yet. So, I mean, sometimes I'm laughing at myself, and this is only because that's what everyone else is doing. But don't care about everyone else. Just do what you want to do, and you will get there. And if you want to learn, you can learn it. And you don't even need someone around you. You don't, if you don't even have the self confidence to start with someone around you, because you might think that you're not good enough, or they're gonna laugh. Then learn from videos. Bel- Show yourself you can do it, and the self confidence will come. I mean, in everything, in speaking, in showing yourself, in working out, in studying. Start with
Start,
yourself.
start
Exactly.
the best thing. Start. Just
Yeah.
you. A friend of mine asked me about they're looking into doing a podcast or something, and my advice was start. You'll learn
Just
as you
do it.
go. Do
Like
it. That's
Nike
what I had to
says,
tell myself.
just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So, zašto Hrvatska? Why Croatia?
Oh,
For anyone who doesn't know, you love Croatia. You want to move there, but zašto? That's why.
I still have problems with pronouncing, but I'm trying already to learn the reading and the writing, and trying to recognize the words. But I fell so in love with Croatia. So actually, since 2017, I'm living with my Polish partner in Ireland as a Belgian, so very international. which makes us also be free to travel as much as we want, really. Well, I have the full-time job, but we're working all online since when? Since March 2020. So before that, I was traveling with him on my annual leave, on the bank holidays, during the weekends, and just we don't have the family to visit here around. We have our friends, but I mean, free to travel. Come on, who doesn't do it? So I mean, if you can do it and you have the time and you have the expenses, why not travel? You know, that's our mindset. And first it was Thailand, it was we've been Spain, Portugal, all sides of Europe, really, apart from Thailand, and that's Asia. And then in 2015 we went for 15, sorry, 2019, 18, 19, that was winter time. We went first time to Croatia. Now, first, I didn't think much of it because I thought Croatia was a hot country and it was suddenly so cold during winter. So I had my doubts at the start. But then again, we went in summertime. It was a completely different climate. It was like, for me, the Asian Europe, you know, the Asian side of Europe. It was unbelievable. Such a beautiful country. You have sea, mountains, islands. The people are amazing. We made friends, definitely friends for life, because we got recently invited to a wedding of only 10 people, and as two foreigners to be invited in a small town, it's just simply amazing. But yeah, everything I'm really looking for living in a nice area and feeling home and having friends around you that are basically family to you, changed me from, do I really want to stay in Ireland? So yeah, now it's been so many times I went over, and they have a new law actually since January 2021. I don't know if I actually told you this before, Todd, but they have a new law for people that work remote in for a company in a different country. So I'm working for an American company in Ireland. That means that I would be able to work from Croatia and have the company still being taxed in Ireland.
Okay.
Um, Now, I was talking to a lawyer recently while I was over. I was only over till a few days ago for the past month, so it was really a nice trip. But I was speaking to a lawyer, and he said the law hasn't been implemented yet because it just actually came out this month. But in about 2 months' time, let's talk again, and we probably get you to move whenever you want. So I'm like, wow, I can maybe make it work. I
Well,
can maybe have another dream come true.
hey, you have to chase your dreams. That's
Yeah, exactly.
one of the issues with people is they don't have dreams. What I like so much about you and about your stuff is that you do have dreams and you chase them.
Well, to be honest, I think everyone has dreams, but not everyone thinks that they're possible to come true. But dreams don't come true if you don't work for it, and that's the thing. You need
Amen.
to you need to find your way for it. You will find tools, you will find keys, you will find opportunities if you're looking for them.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm one of my dreams would actually be to move to Ireland. So my wife and I visited a half dozen. We love it.
Where
Um,
in Ireland would
we
you go, Todd?
Cork, Cork.
Ah,
We would go to Cork because they're good
Cork or
people.
Kerry? Cork or Kerry? I
They're good
definitely
people,
agree.
and I
Uh,
hope I don't. Any of my Irish friends, whenever I talk about Ireland, I drop into an accent.
yeah, yeah, very good. I lost the Irish accent because I'm with a Polish man now. This is too funny. For about 3 years, I was speaking like someone from Cork, and people were saying, "Hey, bye, you got the accent." And now people are like, "Are you Polish?"
Well, when I'm here in Norway, and so I was trying to speak Norwegian. They were telling me I was speaking Norwegian like a Russian because of
Oh,
I speak Serbian Croatian, so it's very similar.
that's so funny.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I hope one of these days, once quarantine's over and all that, that you and your partner and my wife and I will be able to meet and sit down at a restaurant and have a good time together.
That
So,
would be awesome, Todd. Really.
but
You're more than welcome whenever the path cross. May it be Ireland or may it be Croatia. Let's just do it.
we love both. Um, both places I can speak the language, so it
Yeah,
works.
that's awesome. Really, that's on the bucket list now. Actually, Todd, I wanted to add on something. Last bit.
Yeah.
I'm writing a book. I don't know if you can see it, but the name of it is Another Survivor. I'm writing my life story down, and I'm already from 1991 to 2009. I have written. So I'm doing it in my own language first, in Flemish, aka Dutch, however you want to take it. But it's basically the same language as Dutch, Flemish. And I'm gonna make it in English as well. What did you say?
I said that's dirty German, right?
I would say German is more dirty.
No,
No. I
just
think German. I find it easier to understand them, but when I talk in Flemish to a German, they have no clue. So I don't know.
oh, sorry for interrupting. I'm terrible
No
about that.
problem. No problem. Actually, talking about languages, it's actually just interesting for people to understand the difference. But yeah, it will be in Flemish. It will be in English, and I'm hoping to bring my book out next year. Which means I still have quite some years to write down. But during pandemic, I think we have some extra time for it. So yeah, I want to help people with that as well. So not only coaching, but I'm creating this book in order to give people actually just another idea of someone else struggling and finding a way out. And maybe that might work for me too.
Well, let me know when it's done and published, and I'll definitely buy a copy.
You'll be the first one to get one with a signature.
Thank you very much. That's awesome.
I'll hand it over to you when we meet with your wife and my partner. When we go for a
Perfect.
coffee or for a cocktail at the beach in Croatia. That'd be
Well,
awesome.
both the coffee and the cocktail. I don't drink either alcohol or coffee because of my religion, but
Well, there is non-alcoholic cocktails there. No
oh,
need.
definitely.
No
You
one
know
says
the
alcohol.
the funniest thing, and my daughter will kill me, but my daughter, she just got married this year during the pandemic, but
Oh, wow.
she always loved when we'd go to restaurants here in Europe. She always loved ordering virgin sex on the beaches.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You can have one of those.
She, she would love to order it just for the name.
Just for the name, it's also. Yeah, I was actually laughing at it when I heard it first, but non-alcoholic cocktails are actually amazing.
Oh yeah, I love pina coladas just with virgin.
Yeah, exactly. If you go to Thailand or to Croatia and you're starting to drink during the day, you can't be drinking alcohol. You'd be hit in the head, So if they didn't exist, I think there would be more people falling all over the place.
Oh, absolutely. And I have been to Thailand actually. I've been to about 40 different countries or more. I'm
That's
a pilot.
nice.
I've been a pilot in the Air Force for most of my career, so I've been able to travel around the world. It's
And
been
it's an
pretty.
amazing place to be, the clouds, above the clouds.
Oh, absolutely. And you do have it. I always called it the best office in the world because
Yeah.
we a little window. We had a big 180-degree window to look
Yeah,
out.
exactly. That's amazing. Wow. I would love to experience that one day. That's
Well,
awesome.
well, thank you very much for your time. I won't keep you, but
No
thank you
problem.
for spending the time and interviewing with me.
I'm happy you asked that. Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Take care and look forward to seeing you hopefully soon. Hopefully the pandemic will go away so that we can start traveling and not have to quarantine.